some external speakers, keeping you all informed on all things from training through to what's happening with our partner awards, through to what's happening in online and with our Azure toolkits. So just a heads up, letting you know that we are recording this session. So if you do join us, please just be mindful that you are on mute. We do share this series out so your colleagues and other peers that can't make the session time can hear it and catch up on all things that are happening here at Microsoft in New Zealand. So introducing myself, I am Pip Simeon. I am the go-to-market lead here in New Zealand, and I have all wonderful responsibility of things working with our partners, doing go-to-market campaigns. I have my fantastic team of enablement, doing all things training enablement with Vitor in my team. So we have a big responsibility that we get from Microsoft Corporate and Microsoft Region in Singapore to be able to digest that all and be able to give you guys some of the forums and some of the information in this forum, as well as in our other communication channels that we have. So kicking off on some of the content that we've got covering off today, I've got a few things to talk to you about in my top of mind. Vitor is going to kick on there what's happening for training events coming up in March.
Hello,
Can you still hear me?
Yeah,
here
now
we
you're
go.
back.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I was having a technical difficulty. So back on. What do we've got? We've off for Teams voice calling for partners. So that's a huge momentum we're going to be seeing coming up over the coming months and on Teams. So it's something to really lean in here and hear what's coming into this in this workload area. Got Leon joining us on Digital Workplace Conference. He's joining us from an APAC role, dialing in, I think, maybe from Singapore. And we've got Bajir giving us a roadmap for all Microsoft official exams that are coming up. So quite a lot of changes coming in for that journey. So do lean in and listen. And I do encourage you to share the information with your colleagues in and throughout your business to keep your competencies up to date and at the forefront of the technical changes that are happening in at Microsoft. And then Vita's going to kick in at the end with the Azure Toolkit and the updates that we have within that, I guess, channel of information that we hold on our New Zealand Partner Hub. So, and then at the end, as always, we'll open it up to a Q&A. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to come off mute, or throughout this presentation, you may wish to put some questions into the comment box. So please just put your comments in there. We will endeavour to answer them as we go, if it may have links and the like. But yeah, do feel free to keep the commentary coming. We love it when you interact with we're being heard out there. So moving swiftly along, because we've got lots of content to cover off. Top of mind, what's keeping me busy over this coming month is really around our Inspire, which is coming up. So this is just all launched to market. And as usual, we have our partner conference in July. And again this year, be held in Las Vegas. So lots of improvements have been made. I have been on several calls with corporate and about how they are refining that experience for our partners. As you'll see there, our Microsoft Ready conference. This is our internal conference that we have with all across our business, people joining us as from within Microsoft. So it's a real opportunity to connect partners with our Microsoft employees, and it's a huge collaboration event. Not only hearing about what is coming at the forefront of and changes of technology, you'll be able to see it Inspire. Everything launches there. We have our keynote speakers from the likes of Satya to Gabriella, who's our OC1 commercial partner lead or global lead. So there's lots. If you haven't been before, do reach out to us if you haven't been. We can put you on a beginner's guide or a beginner's journey to Inspire and help you out. So there's some milestones to come about, and we'll inform you during this this forum over the coming months when there's news to hand. But basically, it's all to registration. So you can register yourself and get yourself booked in to secure your spot. Hot off the press today is the notification of the hotel block that we have secured for our Microsoft New Zealand partners, as well as all our Microsoft Ready staff as well, and that is the Cosmopolitan. So we are absolutely delighted that application hotel. It is one of the nicest hotels in Vegas, and there are some fantastic facilities there. So, and it's very close walking distance to the arena. So we're delighted with that. So we do encourage you to come join us, come immerse yourself in with the Microsoft partner team and our senior leaders in our business to be able to hear more. So yes, if you're a newbie, do reach out and we'll take you on a journey. And if not, we will be looking forward to seeing your name registered up and on the registration documents. So the other one that I want to update on is the New Zealand Partner Awards. So normally we would have announced this by now. Actually, we would have been right in the thick of it. But things have been on hold in this area, and that is due to what is happening with the Microsoft Global Awards. So those that are familiar, we have a global award program for our partners that many of our partners do get involved in up there, which is something we do encourage you to do. What we're looking to do this year is see how better we can align in with program. So until we actually get notification in on the global awards, when that gets announced and all the information, we are unable to announce our partner awards here in New Zealand. So what that means is that the date is going to be pushed out. So I'm on tender hooks, on ready to go to get this all organised. Everything is all organised. I'm just waiting for the green light, and then I'll work backwards from the date to launch it from there. So this won't hinder any sort of time frame that we will give you to enter the awards. It will still be like a 4-week entry time frame, but it will just determine around when we open the awards to when we then close them out and then have our fabulous event here in Auckland. So do watch the space. As soon as something comes to hand around when we launch, we'll be informing you across our communication channels, which will be our partner newsletter, or within this webinar forum, or on our Yammer channel. Of course, we will be updating all our distributors, all our CSP providers, so they'll be able to inform everybody as well. So do watch the space. I appreciate your patience with us. I am just waiting for the green light to go. So moving on into the content of the webinar today, I'm going to hand over to Vitor, who is our Partner Channel Development Manager, and is going to talk to you all things training for the coming month. Over to you, Vitor.
Thank you, Pip. Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me well. If there's any problem, just type in the box and we'll sort things out. So I'll focus on the month of March. There's a lot happening, so I'll try to give you an overview of what's coming up next week onwards, right? Can't believe it's the last day of Feb already. So starting with apps and infrastructure, we have 2 very interesting courses coming up in this March in Auckland. First of them is the Implementing Azure SQL Database Managed Instance, which is a new deployment model for Azure SQL Database, and it's very timely with the end of support for SQL Server 2008 and Windows Server. So great opportunity to upskill your team, your technical team. It's a technical workshop, hands-on, and then you can certainly help your customers with those transitions, with those migrations to the cloud. The other one, for partners that play on the SAP on Azure workshop, going to have also a hands-on session on how to plan, deploy, or migrate SAP on Azure. 3 days, hands-on course, lots of labs. We have done some of these courses before, and we heard the feedback that more labs were needed, and we made the adjustments. We are bringing top trainers. One of our partners, which is specialized on SAP on Azure deployments and migration, will be delivering this for us. So a great opportunity there. Moving to another solution area, business applications. We are going to execute early next week a Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations workshop, and we're going to be covering the methodology, the Microsoft recommended methodology to upgrade customers from Dynamics AX 2012 to Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. So we know there's too many companies out there running Dynamics AX 2012 R2 or R3, and it's a great opportunity to help them upgrade their systems. So starting next Monday in Auckland, we have seats left there. So if you're interested, please register on the link, and you can check the agenda, presenter. All the information is detailed on the registration page. Now talking a bit about modern workplace. In January, we had Helen Davis talking about the modern workplace, the elevator workplace roadshow. So we just had an event today in Christchurch, Nelson. So we had Christchurch yesterday, Dunedin the day before. Great feedback, great attendance so far. And now we're going to, in March, we're going to Palmerston North and New Plymouth. So just keep in mind that these events are open to both customers and partners. So you are welcome to join and bring customers along with you. And this is really an envisioning session, right? It's really discussing the impact in culture, technology, and space that a modern work environment can facilitate. So they're going to go through different industries and scenarios and cover how each of those industries can work smarter and be more productive with a modern workplace. So, great opportunity going to the regions, talk to our customers, and if you can, please make it to the sessions. Now, talking a little bit about AI, we have a very interesting conference coming up. It's the second, oh, sorry, it's the second edition. Let me just go backwards. The second edition of the AI Day in Auckland on the 27th and 28th of March. So the way they shaped the conference this year is very interesting. It's going to be 2 days. On the first day, they start at 4 p.m. and I think on the second day they start at 6 p.m. So it doesn't really impact your day-to-day routine, your work, and the work you're doing for customers. So you can rest and plan to attend. They have a very good lineup of speakers, international speakers coming up from different companies, from China, from the US, from Australia, and of course, people from New Zealand as well. So I have highlighted some of the main presenters there. Feel free to check the details and what they're going to be covering, but very interesting event. So the conference itself is a 2 days conference full of insights, and they're going to discuss AI in New Zealand. They're also going to have some technical workshops in early April. So have a look on that if you're interested as well. Your technical teams can attend the technical workshops and hackathons that's going to take place in early April. Now, just hot out of the press, a new campaign that we're launching here at Microsoft. So we just launched what we call the IoT or Internet of Things Future Ready portal within the New Zealand Partner Hub. And what we are doing is really raising the awareness about Internet of Things in New Zealand. So for those of you that do not know, there's a lot of work happening around IoT in New Zealand. And Microsoft globally made an announcement last year that we are investing $5 billion US dollars into the Azure IoT platform over the next 4 years. So it's a huge investment, and the goal from Microsoft is really to make it easier to your partners to develop applications and leverage the Azure IoT platform. And what does it mean? A lot of people, okay, so what's happening here in New Zealand? So we have lots of stories already feature on our portal. You can go there and check. But Schneider Electric, they have a very interesting story where they are using sensors to increase productivity on the farms. Zespri, which is the biggest kiwi producer in the world, they use sensors on their factory to track the production of their fruits from the crop until the shelves. And we also have stories with Kotahi on how they can fit more containers into their ships, and many more things happening. So have a look on the portal. The link is there. We have a very comprehensive white paper that's called Connected Products White Paper, where you can learn how to build IoT solutions and connected products and how to monetize that. Right at the end of the day, is really about adding more revenue to our bottom line, and we cover how you can monetize IoT solutions. So please have a look in there. On the back of that, we interviewed some customers and partners that are doing some great work here in New Zealand. And you have 3 very interesting articles focusing on the New Zealand market where we cover some of the stories that I just mentioned with Kotahi, Schneider Electric, Hamilton Gardens, and other IoT stories happening in New Zealand. So have a look, share, get started. We have lots of free training courses. So for those of you that, okay, I understand the opportunity, I want to jump on board, how do I get started? So we have several online courses available for free at the IoT school. So please have a look, download the white paper, read the articles, do one of the courses. There's a lot of great content there, and provide us the feedback. Let us know what else do you need. We are looking at putting together some activities, campaigns, conference, and events around IoT here in New Zealand, and I think it's a great momentum. Just the other day, I saw an announcement from Spark where they mentioned that I think right now they have pretty much 97% coverage, network coverage in New Zealand, and they are revamping their IoT platform. And there was a very interesting stat around 2,000 new devices being connected to the cloud on a daily basis. So it's really picking up. There's a great momentum around IoT. So please jump on board and let us know how we can help you further. With that, I'll hand over to Francois, the product marketing lead for Dynamics 365, and he's going to give some updates around partner source and customer source.
Thanks, Vitor. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, great. All right, if you jump into the first slide. So guys, I just want to give you a quick update on what some of the changes that's coming through from partner source and technical source. Partner source and customer source around technical support entry. This is not just affected Dynamics, but the partner source is definitely a Dynamics product. So what Microsoft are actually working to is really consolidating our support structure into a single base to help us effectively manage support tickets going forward. So what are the changes happening here at the moment is that partner source will no longer be your main, or will no longer be the key destination for technical support ticket requests. You can still go through to partner source at the moment, and you will be routed to the right destination, so D365 support. But fundamentally is the new support.microsoft.com will be the main destination for all support tickets. So, and this will go across Azure and Modern Workplace as well going forward. So again, probably the implementation time frame is after March 15. The support.microsoft.com will be your main point of raising tickets. You will also be able to review any existing tickets that have been raised or support incidents at support.microsoft.com. All the existing incidents will be migrated to there. As we're talking about why, again, Microsoft is just streamlining across all the different support experiences and trying to create a unified support platform going forward. Do note that there are, for on-premise customers, they will be also routed to this, but there are some fundamental differences between the current support for on-premise or support details for on-premise customers versus what is available on support.microsoft.com. For partner side of things, there is, you can't necessarily select customer name in your support ticket. So what we do recommend from a Microsoft perspective, if you do want to track by customer name, is to include that in the title of the ticket as well. Unfortunately, it's also no consolidated view of support tickets per partner or customer yet, so they are building this into that. However, if you want more information, you want to have detailed training on it, the link in here will take you through how the new support structure will work and exactly how you can get the most out of it. If we move to the next slide, this change will also be affecting of customer source. So where customers can go for raising support tickets, we are also pushing them to support.microsoft.com. There is also, again, for on-premise, there's a couple of limitations on there. I do recommend you guys look at it. But yeah, just be wary. I know this is quite a substantial impact. We are communicating this far and wide. It is across all the Microsoft products we're moving forward. The goal is having a central source where you can go and get all the support ticket information you want to and actually have a consolidated view on what's going forward. Do be wary, there are some limitations from the start, but we'll work actively to get those corrected. So yeah, like a couple of things, make sure that you're across this, make sure that anybody in your business is across this so that it's not coming up as a surprise. We're basically 2 weeks away from this transition happening. If you aren't across it, please jump into the link here, go through the support training document to get an overview of it, and please contact your Microsoft representative if you have any further questions or escalations. I'll hand it back to you, Vitor.
Francois, thank you. Just a quick question on the chat. So Herman asked does that mean that partner support will have the same priority as commercial customers?
No. So partner support, I think, it'll still have the same priority structure as it has before. I don't have that deep visibility on it, but that's not my impression. There is a lot of FAQ documentation out there. Do look into that, and if it's not in there, please follow up with the teams or come back to me, and I'm happy to chase that up for you.
Thank you, Francois. Cool. So now I would like to welcome Jeff Robinson, the director from Telesmart. He's going to give us an overview of Teams voice calling for partners.
Okay.
Over to you, Jeff.
Thank you. You can hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Okay. Thanks very much for the opportunity to talk to the wider partner channel. All right. As probably most of you know, the communications platform of choice for Microsoft moving forward. And what I'm going to talk about today is cloud calling for Microsoft Teams, which, as the name implies, enables Microsoft Teams as a voice platform from the cloud. Can you move slides, please? All right. So just a little bit of background on us, or me for a start. I'm Jeff Robinson, one of the co-founders and a director of Telesmart. Telesmart was formed in 2006. We're a voice company, so we're formed to provide quality communications, real-time voice communications. We've got telecommunications infrastructure and exchanges across New Zealand and Australia, just providing voice, video, and networks. And these have all been designed from the ground up to provide quality of service because we've always had that focus on real-time media like voice and video. We've got an emphasis on close to the wire, which is really about control of the traffic and managing the process and pathways as much as we possibly can. Real-time quality scoring and that end-to-end control enables delivery of great user experience. Today, my key focus is I'm program lead for cloud calling for Microsoft Teams, so this is what I'm utterly focused on. Next slide, please. All right. So cloud calling for Microsoft Teams. So first and foremost, it's a cloud product. When we first looked at Direct Route, we thought, hey, this is really great, but why would you go and have an on-prem or private host to enable a cloud? So we designed our solution from the outset to be cloud first, and we also conceived it as a channel model to be reseller friendly. So what does that mean? We've got all the telco exchanges, all of the SIP, all the direct dial numbers, all of the session border controllers, all that sort of things that's already deployed, that's multi-tenanted, and it's scalable. What that means for you and your customers is rapid deployment and zero infrastructure requirement for your customers, and it's really low risk. The commercials have been modeled on Microsoft Calling Plan, so simple per user per month included calling. And that construct matches how the customers are used to procuring 365. As part of our build, we've focused really heavily on user experience, on number portability, and enhancing the overall Teams experience. And I'll dive into this a little bit deeper shortly. We've also got other enhancements like call recording and contact center, which we're still working through and beta at the moment. Next slide, please. So fast and easy deployment, that's probably one of our catch cries. So safe, quick and safe. So one of the things how we go about this is we build the solution as a parallel deployment to any existing customer, phone system or something like that. So we make sure that things are working, and we test it, and then we migrate the users, and then we port the numbers. The process itself is as simple as we can make it. It's got authentication mechanisms in there for accuracy. There's a backup and fallback process baked into the deployment. We've developed processes to make sure that the existing customer's AD doesn't have any nasties in there that stops things from working, which incidentally has happened on almost every site so far. We've also got a larger organisation deployment process. So Enterprise Interconnect is what we call it. And that's designed to make a larger organisation sort of easier, more cost effective, and again, less risky. And what we're doing there is we're effectively bringing the legacy PBX into the cloud calling from Microsoft Teams build, providing the trunks and the numbering and things to the legacy platform, and then interconnecting the two. And then we can migrate from that legacy platform to cloud calling as the use case or workflows allow. This approach also gives us a demarcation point for quality management within the customer's network. So if we ever have any quality issues, we can fault find pretty easily. The last point there is, as I mentioned before, zero additional infrastructure. So you don't have to worry about the hardware, the dev time, security certs, the SIP trunks, the session border controllers. So again, it's just fast and cost effective. Next slide, please. So caller experience, this I guess is a legacy of us coming from a unified communications background. We put a lot of effort into this. You got to remember, phones have been around for well over 100 years, and people expect them to work in a certain way. You pick up the phone, you dial a number, the phone goes ring ring, and the other end answers or not. With Direct Route, by default, the experience is different. You get the Skype ringtone, and then the far end answers. After a couple of seconds of silence, quite often the caller will decide that things are broken, and they'll hang up and probably email support. So that sort of thing. So what do? We inject ringtones. So the caller gets what they expect. You get Skype tones, then you get ring, 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 and then the person at the other end answers. We've also got some emphasis on high call quality. So we route as much traffic as possible through our MPLS cores. That manages the call latency. We keep the call path off the internet for as long as possible. We hand over to Microsoft as close as possible. And that all results in a better call experience, high call clarity. We're interconnected to Microsoft's telco. And that, again, high call quality and quicker setup times. And finally, and this is possibly the most important, number portability. So we can bring the customer's pilot numbers into Microsoft service numbers. You need Microsoft service numbers for automated tenant and call queues, and that's normally a must for most businesses. So we can bring their pilot numbers, their main numbers, into those service numbers, and we can also present them back out again. So the net effect is they keep their numbers. And if they can't do that, they're simply not going to migrate. So it's something we do. Next slide, please. So I see we've designed this as a reseller model. To us, specialization is key. A great example, the Intune, there's Power BI and SharePoint, and they all require in-depth knowledge to get the most out of those platforms. I could probably turn on SharePoint and it would probably work sort of, but the customer's never going to get the benefits that they could get out of it because I simply don't know what I'm doing in that. Voice is the same. It's actually relatively easy to turn on, but it's very hard to get right. So that's what we're focused on doing, is getting it right. On the slide I put enhancing your customer engagement. What that really means is upsell your customer into enterprise licensing and increase your overall revenue with cloud calling for Microsoft Teams. You could also leverage the voice components that's already baked into the E5 licensing to lower the effective net costs of a BI or Intune deployment. So there's some good value adds in there for your customers and for yourselves. We've also designed it to be cost effective and really simple commercially to transact. So it's per user per month, includes calling. I'll get to that shortly. But what that means is you don't need a telco billing engine. And if anyone's ever gone down that track, those are monsters. The reseller also maintains the commercial ownership of the customer. So you're the one invoicing the customer, and you're also recognising the top end revenue. So we're just a wholesale partner in the background. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so this is the commercials. Show me the money. So there's only two profiles: Cloud Calling for Microsoft Teams and Enterprise Connect for Microsoft Teams. There are casual rates, which are a different price construct, but it's the same profile, same inclusions. So Cloud Calling for Microsoft Teams includes the voice path, includes the direct dial number, includes all the back-end requirements. It's all you need to make it working, apart from the Microsoft licensing. And that's, to date, the most common methodology. Enterprise Connect, we add that connectivity layer integrating to that legacy PBX. So you just need one of that $750 interconnect, and then a lower per user per month profile cost. If someone's bothering to do the maths at about 95 users, that becomes more cost effective to go Enterprise Connect anyway. But yeah, this includes everything that someone's going to use. It's got all the calling for New Zealand in there, those sort of things. There is a fair use policy on that, and the only caveat is a minimum of 10 ends. Next slide, please. It's just simply how to contact us. So if you're interested, want to have a chat, either stalk me on LinkedIn, send me an email, hit the contact page on the website, or give us a call. And with that, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Great presentation, and Teams is certainly the way forward. We are running this webinar on Teams, and it just works great. Great to see that these things are coming up. I just have a question for you here on the chat, Jeff, while you're still with us. So Herman asked, just to confirm, is the $24 the retail price or the reseller price?
That's the retail price. So there's a reseller gets a discount from that.
Cool. So thank you, Jeff, and Herman. Feel free to reach out to Jeff and take the conversation forward.
Excellent. Cool. I'll hang around to the Q&A at the end as well. So if anyone else has anything, just sing out, write them down.
Thank you. So now I'd like to introduce Leon Bro from Share the Point, which might be familiar for many of you guys. They're going to talk about the upcoming Digital Workplace Conference, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, workplace conference in New Zealand. So, Leon, over to you now.
Hey, yeah, thanks for that intro. Yeah, so I'm Leon from Share the Point. I'm filling in for Debbie, who is holidaying in the Bahamas. So, yeah, I'm not bitter about that at all. So I guess a lot of you have taken control, so hopefully, here we go, sorry. A lot of people have heard about the conference or attended the conference. It's been running for over 10 years now. It started out as the SharePoint conference, and has morphed into the Digital Workplace Conference, as we've realised there's a whole lot more out there than just SharePoint. I think for those of you that haven't been, we normally get about 400 to 500 people. Many of these are mid to senior professionals who are either decision makers or decision influencers. But we've got a wide variety of stuff. There's some technical stuff there. There's some business implementation courses there. The sessions are divided into 3 different streams. So we've got the thought leadership, which is really our strategic stream. The implementation's really more technical, and business productivity is the how and why of why you would do implement different technologies. We're still putting together the final list of sessions and speakers, but we get a really good turnout of speakers. In the past, we've had people like Oscar Trimboli, the Microsoft CEO. The ex-Nintex CEO has talked at the conference many times. We've got Paul Cullumsey this year talking about Power Apps. He's run a lot of the Power Apps courses in New Zealand. So it's a good range of speakers, and it's really the one chance to see them all in one place in New Zealand. Having said that, we do also run the conference in Australia each year. So I think in July we'll be running another conference over there. So I guess opportunities for partners. What's in it for you? I think one of the major ones that stands out in these highlights is the networking with your customers. So, like I said, we've got 400 or 500 people who they're involved in the industry and decision makers or decision influencers. And there's lots of opportunities to network at the conference. So the sessions, there's normally a 15-20 minutes gap between each of the sessions. There's drinks on the after the first night, usually with a few games and stuff. There's vendor displays out in the foyer. So there's lots of time to get around and talk to people. But I think one of the ways I've really liked seeing a company use the conference is Foodstuffs New Zealand. So Foodstuffs New Zealand is the entity behind Pak'nSave, New World, and Foursquare, along with Gilmore's. And they've got a dedicated digital workplace team, and they come along to the conference every year, and it's really their strategic planning. They come along and they do decide who's going to do and who in the team's going to go to which of the courses. They come back between the sessions and talk about what they've learned and what they've discovered. At the end of the course, end of the conference, they go back to the office and they do their strategic planning for the year. And so they work out based on what they've heard, what they want to do for the year, where they think they can get the most business value, and they set up their goals. And at the start of the next year, they'll revisit where they've actually got to with that. And I was thinking about that from a partner perspective, and I think there's some opportunity there for some of you to perhaps do something similar with your customers. Take them encourage them to get some tickets or sponsor some tickets. Go along with them, listen to the sessions, and then facilitate a workshop at the end of it where you talk through with them, hey, what have you learned from this conference? What are the major strategic drivers that we're seeing out there? And then sort of help them formulate their the year plan. But equally, that can work nicely with your team. Right, there's pre and post workshops. These are still being finalised. So we've got 4 here, but there'll most likely be others as well. These will generally be full day and sometimes 2-day workshops, which will look at stuff in more depth. The PowerApps course is always popular. Paul Cullumsey will be leading that this year, and there'll no doubt be more. So just check in on the website to see what else is there. Sorry, this is just me getting used to the controls, flipping forward between slides. So SharePoint, this is one of the, SharePoint is starting to focus on online training. So this is one of the things you'll see a little bit more of this year. Debbie will be able to fill you in a bit more detail about this, but the first virtual class is starting on the 18th of March. So if you're interested in virtual training in addition or supplementing your existing training with SharePoint, do get in touch with Debbie Ireland. Oh, okay. There was a couple more slides, but they've been cut. So I guess that's the that's the sum of it from Share the Point in the Digital Workplace Conference.
Thank you, Leon. We'll see you there and hoping to see as many customers and partners as possible. I have been there last year and I certainly took a lot of value out of that, some great presentations, and great to see the focus on Power Apps. That's certainly a hot topic at the moment, and great to see that that's going to be covered as well. So with that, I would like to introduce Badir. So Badir is part of the Asia Pacific team, and he works on the Microsoft training and certifications team. So we work closely, and as many of you might have heard already, Microsoft is revamping our certifications and exams. Just a heads up, Badir will cover changes happening to the exams right now. There's another piece to the puzzle, which is how those changes on the exams and certifications will impact competencies, Microsoft Partner Network competencies and requirements. So this is a work in progress. Before those questions start to pop up on the chat, we're going to make sure we keep updated as soon as those changes are reflected. As you might have seen with Azure, which we revamped the exams last December, now the new exams can be used to tick the requirements for cloud platform and other competencies. So just loading the slides again. We're gonna hand over to Bajir. So Bajir, let me just, you got control? Right, yep. So just gonna move to the slide we are. So Bajir, if you wanna introduce yourself and start.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for inviting me to the call. I'm hoping that this is going to be a very, helpful slides that I have. And yeah, if you have any further questions after the presentation here, do reach out to Victor, and I think he'll definitely be happy to, help out and reach back to me for any other questions that you may have. So I'm just going to go straight to it. I actually do have a lot of slides, but most of those slides are actually just to kind of just emphasize on exactly the paths itself. So we can just go through that, like we can just run through that very quickly. But the important parts that I want to, present is, I'm not sure, am I able to have control here, Victor? I'm trying to.
Yeah, just click on the screen and take control, and then you can change slides.
Yeah, I'm trying to take control. Okay, let me just try. Okay, yep, so I think I can. Let me just go back one. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so not sure if you guys, everybody know about it, but as you probably have seen, there's a lot of changes in the MCP and all the certifications that we have, and this is due to the fact that we are actually changing the way our training contents and also the way we provide the training and learning for all our partners as well as customers. And so this is with the change of this in the global the global part of the our crop level as well. This is why we are providing all of this new training as well as the certifications that are being provided. So with this, it marks this next stage in our Microsoft Learning's evolution, of the certification, with the core of the focus of it, mainly on building skills and knowledge aligned to specific job roles that are now being required. And so now in Erlang, Microsoft certification is going to be very much more powerful. And so with that, if you see here, there are 3 types of job task analysis types here. So for the training, we're going to have micro learning, right? So this is basically from our bite-sized type of training method. So this is going to be being available for everybody through our Microsoft Learn website. And then we'll have the online courses. So this is the MOOC type of training. Which is going to be made available to there's like sites like Pluralsight. There's also one that's from Microsoft directly from academy.microsoft.com. So that's where you're going to see a lot of the MOOC online training courses. And then of course, obviously, still a main type of training method is our instructor-led training. So this is where you're going to come to a learning partner, and they'll set up 4 days, 5 days, or even 1-day workshop types of classes in which you can take all the training through our digital mock contents or even printed mock contents. And obviously there's books that where you guys are able to get that from anywhere you guys like. So the important part here is the changes in the certification exam is oops, what happened, Victor? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I think someone click on stop presentation. We just gonna go through that slide again. But yeah, but you can keep talking. We're just gonna have to go to that slide. So just don't click on stop presenting.
No, okay. So the important part here now with the changes in the certification is that there are now 3 stages to it. So there's the fundamental part, there's the associate part as well as the expert level. So when the fundamental part is an optional path, and you don't have to take that. But if you do want to take that into just the main type of starting level to it, definitely you can get it certified. So this fundamental part, you don't have to have a very big preparation to it, in which you can actually just go through our Microsoft Learn site as well as the MOOC, and I believe that would be enough for you to pass the fundamentals. For the associate level, this is where the level of certification is going to be a way higher, and this is way the one that you probably need to have preparation to it, and we provide that with the MOOC as well as the instructor led. So there's going to be a lot of new updated DMOC and MOOC courses that are being made available. Am I able to still? Okay, sorry about this, guys. I'm going to just present again. Okay, so this is, like I said, the three path to it, the three level to it. So that's the fundamental part, the associate part, as well as the expert. So this is the current ones that we have. There's definitely a lot more coming. So we have in the application and infra, this is where all the Azure classes is going to be, Azure training will be, and certifications will be, and then the data and AI as well. It's going to be mostly on Azure, as the current ones we have, and then the modern workplace is where all the M365 trainings and certifications will be. And then there's the business apps training and certification, which is going to be focused on the Dynamics. I think okay, so let me just try to go next. So here's just a bit more emphasis on the, all the Azure applications and infrastructure certifications. Like I said, the optional part is the fundamentals, and then you have the associate certifications, and then you can have the expert level to complete the whole track of the Azure application and infrastructure certifications. Now, if you see on the bottom part, and there are very popular certifications right now that are already being made available, the 532 as well as the 533 and 535 examinations. These will all be transitioned into the newer AZ job role exams. So that's going to be 202, 102 as well as 302. So this is really an emphasis on the certification track and the changes to it. But in a just in a nutshell, basically the way that Microsoft is going to have the training and the certifications level is going to be all made on job role skills. I think that's the main thing here that we have to take out. And so I think yeah, so these are all just I'm going to be sharing this to Victor, and he'll be able to share this learning path to all of you partners, as well as maybe his end customers as well. But in a in a nutshell, that's pretty much the main thing that I have with the changes for the new certifications job roles for Microsoft. Any questions?
Thank you, Badir. I know this has been a hot topic. We have many partners at the moment that are planning their roadmap for the year on how to upskill their technical teams. So I think for all of you guys that are technical or that manage a technical team, it's great to see what's the roadmap of what's coming, and of course, if we're going to invest time, money, and effort to achieve certifications, you're going to go for the newest ones. One thing that's important to keep in mind is that we still, from a Microsoft Partner Network program point of view, we still recognize the retired exams for a year. So if you want to activate any Microsoft competency, you can still use those retired exams for 1 year. And as mentioned by Bajir as well, there are transition exams available. So if you recently took a Azure or an Office certification or whatever other certification you did, you can take a shorter exam that will just cover the latest capabilities that were not covered on the previous exam, and you're going to achieve the latest certification. So you do not lose the investment and the effort you put into your previous certifications. You can utilize that towards your newer certification, and that's happening. So great that to share that, Vajir. We're gonna share all the slides. So there's a lot of content. There's the roadmap for each and every Microsoft certification exams, as well as resource available to study. So yes, feel free to ask questions. And as mentioned before, as soon as you have more updates on how these exam changes will impact Microsoft competence requirements, we're gonna share those updates as well.
Yeah. Just
Yep.
sorry, just on top of that, just adding, so like Victor mentioned, if the previous exams that you have, all the certifications that people or the partners actually have right now, they are still going to be valid. Yes, that is true, and there'll be a lot of transition exams being made available in the near future for all the available MCSA types of courses in the past, as well as the MCSE types as well. So there'll be a lot of transition exams coming up, and definitely I'll be in touch with Victor and providing him all the information required and any updates that are being made available through the learning team. One thing to note is actually we still have a and I think I was actually gonna go to that one a little bit, Victor. There is so we have still the core infrastructure certifications. So the MCSA for Windows Server 2016, as well as the MCSA for core infrastructure for 2019 Windows Server, those are still going to be made available, because we do know that there are still a lot of customers as well as partners that are requiring this certification. So just an additional thing to that.
Thank you, Bajir. Thanks for the update.
Thank you.
And once again, we're going to share that so you guys can review all the slides. We just skipped through all of them. There are roadmaps for lots of exams, so feel free to download the slides later on and a deep dive on each certification. So the last stop, we are almost on top of the hour. Just want to cover some quick updates on the Azure Toolkit. So for those of you that do not know what Azure Toolkit is, within the New Zealand Partner Hub, we create an Azure section because there's so much content around Azure. We have programs, we have funding, we have resources, training, events. So if you do work with Azure, if that's one of your priorities, if you want to upskill your team, if you want to build an Azure practice, or if you just need help, and that can be sales or technical support, the Azure Toolkit's where you're going to find our top resource and how to leverage those resources, how to engage with the respective teams behind our offers and programs. So just going to cover some of the updates. So again, you go to the New Zealand Partner Hub. On the navigation tab, on the navigation menu, you're going to see Azure, and that's where you're going to find all of it. So under offers, we have a very interesting offer for application development partners. So from now until the end of June 2019, we are making available free support to app developers. So if you want to help to architect, to develop, and even to market your application using the Azure platform, we have a team of pre-sales and technical specialists that can help you with all the design of your application, how to build mobile apps using Azure, and then once those apps are built, how do you promote those apps on our marketplace? So this team is basically the go-to team for any app developer that needs support from Microsoft to start creating those apps. So you can go to the page and learn more, but there's a lot of advisory specialists available to help you. The second update we have is on the programs. So there are 3 programs that are worth mentioning. So the first is Cloud Workshops, a resource for partners. So within GitHub, what we have a package, what I would say workshop in a box, that you guys can download, learn, and use the materials to run Azure workshops, cloud workshops to your customers, right? So this is materials and resources and train the trainer videos that you can absorb, download, and then reuse to run your own cloud workshops for customers. And then you can do that on a one-on-one basis, or you can look at doing that for one-to-many, creating an event and using those materials. So we have seen some partners already doing some great work with that. You don't have to recreate wheel. You can just get some of those materials and add your flavor, some of the work I've been doing, case studies, and you're going to be ready to run those workshops. Second one is around Azure Databricks. So there's an offer right now for customers to try Azure Databricks for 14 days free of cost. So have a look on that. If you play on that space, if you have customers interested on Azure Databricks, they can leverage this kind of trial offer. They can use the solution free for a limited period. And last but not least on the programs is end of support offer. So with SQL and Windows Server end of support 2008 end of support coming up, Microsoft has put together some offers to help your customers transition to the latest and greatest products we have, right? Hopefully making that transition to cloud-based products. And just one more, I couldn't skip this one as I look after training. Two great resources available for free, which is the IoT School, which we are featuring some course on the IoT Future Ready page within the New Zealand Partner Hub, as well as the AI School, Artificial Intelligence School. I did cover this portal a couple of months ago on another campaign that we are running. So lots of great resources available there. That's open for both customers and partners. So anyone or students as well, if you just want to learn something about AI, data analytics, and Internet of Things, you can get started. There are courses for all levels, from level 100 up to level 400. There are hands-on labs that you can do online. There are environments for you to play, and it's a great place for you to learn more about those technologies. And the best, it's on demand, self-paced. You can do it at your own time and cover the topics that you are interested the most. With that, oh, sorry. No, I think I got backwards. Yes. So with that, we're going to wrap up the webinar for today. We covered a lot of content. We're going to share that. It's being recorded. We're going to publish on YouTube. So by Monday, you can have a look at the New Zealand Partner community on Yammer. And Radi will post the recording as well as all the slides. So please feel free to download the slides, to share the recording, to rewatch the recording if you miss something, if you want to have a look at the end of the topics we covered today. So just opening up, if you want to ask any questions, feel free to open up your mic and ask a question, or you can also type on the chat box there. Everyone's quiet. Not sure if you did a great job covering all the questions throughout the presentation. Cool. So since we got no questions at the moment, we're just going to wrap up. If you have any questions later on, feel free to reach us at NZPartner